Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. This is actually Sunday when I'm recording this, but I'm posting it on Monday, and I am a hot mess today. I realize that. Sorry about that. I'm actually trying to wash laundry by hand, and if you've never done that, it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, I have a lot of respect for people, well, even today, but I'm talking about before modern electronics, washing machines, dryers, that kind of thing, when they used to have washboards and manual hand crank laundry wringers. I kind of wish I had one of those laundry wringers right now, because the other day I had done like 3 loads of laundry and my daughter said, "Mom, the laundry isn't working." And I said, "I just used it. What are you talking about?" Well, there was this code, and the code looked like some weird demented E and then an L or something like that. I said, "I don't know." So I looked it up on Google, and it actually was a T and an E or something like that. It just was really kind of hard to figure out. But once I figured it out, I realized it wasn't just unplug and plug in the machine to reset it. We have a few laundromats around here. One burned down, and I didn't realize that they had moved. So that's a good thing, but their machines are really old. And the last time I used that laundromat, the machines actually burnt some clothes I had. So I thought, I'm not going to go back there. There's also another one like about mile and a half from here. And I usually like that one, but that's the busiest one. It is in a strip plaza right in the smack middle of like 4 subdivision neighborhoods. So I'm not going to go there because that one is always cramped. You can't find parking. And there's nothing worse than taking your laundry baskets in a crowded parking lot, trying to maneuver with them in and out of the car, into the laundry building. It's just not fun. There is another one closer to me, but that one only takes these weird prepaid cards. And in order to use that, you have to give them your credit card, and they charge you a blanket rate of like, say, $20. And whatever you don't use, they don't give you back. So if you only used $8 of it, you don't get the rest of it back. So to me, that's highway robbery. I won't use that laundromat. Then there's another one that's by the grocery store. And that one is kind of nice because you can actually just leave your laundry with them. They will wash it, fold it, dry it. Well, they'll wash it, dry it, fold it, and then they'll call you up and say, "Come get it." I kind of like that idea, but I don't really want people touching my laundry. That's just how I am. So the final choice, and I went there a few years back, is this place. It's not too far from here. It's never busy. The machines are completely updated and newer. The place is immaculate, spotless. They have a snack machine, a soda machine. I don't use those, but they also have like a little arcade area. That's kind of fun. Last time I went, my daughter was in high school and she liked to play in that area. It cost a lot of money though. So that's a quarter suck machine. But as far as the laundry goes, everything was great. And they're open late. The other places are open 24 hours, but this one is actually open until 10. So that's a nice perk too. And there's plenty of parking. It's off-street parking, which is awesome. However, I read the reviews about this place. And because of that, I'm washing my own laundry at home. And because of that, I thought I'd make a video to share what I do, because this actually could come in handy for someone. If there's an emergency, if there's no laundromats available, if there's a power crisis, who knows, whatever. Sometimes things happen and we can't do what we normally do. We can't wash our clothes. We can't go to the laundromat. Maybe we have a working dryer, but our washing machine is out, which is my case now. Or maybe the opposite is true. Maybe the washing machine works, but the dryer doesn't. Years ago, when my kids were little, I did have a situation where my dryer broke, but I had a laundry line. I don't have that anymore. So I was able to put all the blankets, sheets, comforters, all the big stuff out on the laundry line, and then I would wash their other clothes and take them to the laundromat. Considering I don't have a laundry line, it's a little bit more difficult, but my dryer is working. It's just my washing machine that's out. So the review said that there was this woman and she went into the laundromat and she had never been into a laundromat before. And the first thing that she noticed was there were a ton of little documents on the wall saying, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Well, she didn't read it all. She was just like overwhelmed by it. So she sat down, and you know those, if you've ever been to a laundry mat, they have those carts that fit nicely under the table. Like, I wish I had those from a house. They're really nice, but they're expensive. They're like silver, and they're on wheels, and they're upright, and they come about to your waist high. Those things, she had one, and she said she had it by her chair, and she had her basket in it with the clothes already done. She was just waiting for one more dryer machine, and she also had her laundry soap in the cart as well. Nobody was in there at all. Now, I happen to know this is true. She spoke the truth when she wrote this in her review and said that the place is monitored by camera. The owner does not attend this place, and that is absolutely true. The other laundromats in my area that I described earlier, they do have an attendant on staff. This one did not when I went there. Nobody was there. There's not even like a little office or any place for anyone. But there was a sign that said cameras are in use, and you could call the attendant if you had a problem. So she went on to explain that a man came through the door, walked right up to her, took her cart with her laundry basket, laundry, and soap in it, dragged it out by the back door, took her stuff and put it by the door, and then took her cart and put it under the table and then left. So the woman was like, she just thought this was like somebody that was rude. She didn't know what to think. She thought it was strange. But being that she'd never been to a laundromat and she was there by herself, I took it to mean she was like early 20s. I don't know this person, but this is how she explained it. She was afraid, but she knew her clothes were coming out in like 30 seconds. So she grabbed the cart again, and she once again put her basket in it and her soap, and she went to the machine to take her laundry out. And this guy came back in, and he did the same thing, except this time he kicked her laundry and soap out the door, out the back door. He just threw it all out there. So at this point, she's like, what are you doing? And the man said, I'm the owner, and you're not allowed to put stuff in that cart. That's my cart. Those stay under the table for everybody's use. And she was like, there's nobody else here, and I didn't know that. And he said, then read the sign next time. And in reading this, I was shocked. I didn't experience anything like that happening. So I thought, okay, well, maybe this is one of those things where the customer complains because something happened, but they make it exaggerated to get the owner in trouble or not, so that other people won't go there and use their services. Maybe that's what it is. But the owner actually replied and said, yes, that is what happened, because her leg was over a cart or something. It wasn't clear what he was talking about, but it grossed him out. And therefore, because he didn't want her skin touching his carts, he thought that was really gross, and he went in and took it away from her so she couldn't use it for that purpose. And he also said that it's unsanitary to put your stuff in a cart unless it's clean clothes that you're getting out of a machine. And he was grossed out that her laundry basket and the soap bottle were in there. So that's why, and he hopes that she never comes back. And I was like, wow, I did not expect that from this man. Like, when I went there, I never met him. The place was immaculate, though, I have to say. It was really nice. And because nobody else was there, that was nice too. But at the same time, some people might go, well, that is kind of gross, having your leg draped over a cart. I wasn't there. The girl didn't say she did that. She said all that was in the cart was her laundry basket and soap. I've been to the laundromat myself a few times, and I've never seen anybody have a problem with that. I have seen people do it. It honestly never crossed my mind if I ever saw somebody with a laundry basket and bottle of laundry detergent in their cart that it's gross. It just never dawned on me, or I never noticed. I don't know. I just didn't. That's never bothered me before. But I've seen people do it. And also, in that same review where he responded, he did say, for anybody reading this review, look up proper laundromat etiquette. And it was funny to me because I don't think I've ever looked up proper laundromat etiquette. I just go to the laundromat, do my clothes, come home. Like, I didn't realize there was a manuscript for laundromats. In fact, when I was younger, I had moved out of my house at 17. When I went to the laundromat the first time, I didn't know how to use the machines. Nobody ever taught me how to do laundry at my house. I had a great grandmother that lived with us for a while, and she loved to do laundry. She was legally blind. That didn't stop her. She would do everybody's laundry. She would even iron. And she would iron my grandfather's handkerchiefs. I mean, it was crazy if you think about it, but that's how I grew up. So nobody taught me how to do laundry. And then when I was on my own, I had to learn, and people were nice and they showed me how to use machines and that kind of thing. But nobody ever said there's laundry etiquette or, read the manuscript. I never heard of that. But in his review reply, he did say on his website, he posted laundromat rules for beginners or anybody that hadn't gone to a laundromat before. And I read them because I thought, well, this is interesting. Now that my machine is broken and I'm waiting for the repair service company, they're coming out this week sometime. I don't even know if they'll have the part to fix it. I don't even know if it can be fixed. My machines are like 10 years old. We'll see. It's a front loader. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Hopefully they can just fix it and be done with it. But who knows if it will even be fixed on the same day. So I could be without laundry for a little bit here, and I went to the website to read the laundry etiquette because I'm like, okay, well, what is this laundry etiquette other than common sense things, And he said that it's not good to sort your clothes at the laundromat. I probably wouldn't do that anyway because that's just who I am. Like I would sort it here first, definitely, and then have it in each of its baskets. And then I would know, whites, darks, delicates, do not bleach, that type of thing. I'd probably sort it out here anyway first. The other thing that struck me odd was it says in his rules that it's disgusting and dirty to sort your clothing at the laundromat on the tables that people use to fold their clean clothes. And honestly, I never thought about it. I don't think I've ever done that because normally when I go to the laundromat, what I do is I either roll a cart over to the machine when the laundry is done. If it's washed, it's wet, so I put it in the cart and then pop it in the dryer. If it's dried, I usually fold it as I take it out. I don't just take it out and stick it in a basket. I fold it as I go, and I do that at home too. So I can't even imagine using the tables for folding laundry at a laundromat anyway. Unless there was somebody waiting for my machine, obviously. If there was a crowd of people and people were waiting, that's different. Then I would certainly take everything out and then go to a table. I don't recall ever noticing anybody taking dirty clothes and putting them on the table and sorting them, or I just don't recall. But I see his point. I do see his point. It can be unsanitary, sure, depending on the level of dirt you got on your clothing or what's on the clothing, So I do get his point there. But I just thought that was funny. And because of all the drama and because of the reputation this guy has, the good thing is the laundromat is clean, but apparently he is kind of mean to people. So I was like, you know what? I don't need the drama. And, another thing somebody said was that they had a credit card and it said right there on a notice that for every swipe, the bank will charge you a $20 hold for 3 days. And sure enough, he used like 8 machines and he had a hold on his card for, what is that? 8 times 20 is $160 for 3 days. So I thought that was a little over the top. I hadn't heard about that before, but I probably have always brought either dollar bills or coins. I think the last time I went to a laundromat, there was a change machine. And so I don't think I've ever used a credit card. I have. I used a credit card at that place where they had those cards that you couldn't get your money back if you bought a $20 card and you spent $8, you couldn't get a refund. So I have used a credit card for that. Other than that though, what I'm doing, because I don't have a machine, is I have a bathtub that has a whirlpool. You can do this in a tub with any kind of jets, bubble jets or a whirlpool jetted tub. Probably could do it in a hot tub too. What I do is I take the laundry and I put it in there, and not a lot at a time. You don't want to do that because wet clothes are heavy. So I've been putting in there a little bit at a time, and then I use cold water in my machine anyway. I don't use hot water, so I've been running cold water. Then I add just a small amount of the liquid laundry soap. I use Tide, and then a little tiny bit of vinegar. And I put it in there. Now, I haven't done the whites yet, only because whirlpools specifically say you cannot use bleach. It will harm the jets. I don't think bubble massage tubs are the same, though. I think you can use bleach in those, but don't quote me because I don't have one. But the whirlpool, you can't use bleach, according to the manufacturer. So that's why I haven't done my whites. But for my dark clothes, and I did a load of towels last night. So I put them in the tub. I fill the water up. I add a little tiny bit of the soap and a little tiny bit of the vinegar. And I have a long pole that came off a broom. One of those screw kinds. And I put everything in there. And when you start the jets, I set it for 5 minutes. The jets actually make a lot of soapy bubbles. And then I stir it all in there with the big pole, but careful not to scratch my tub. And I stir it and stir it and stir it. And then after 5 minutes, I shut the jets off. I let it soak for probably 15 minutes. Once that's done, I rinse. Two ways. I either drain all the water out of the tub and refill it for the fresh soak. Or I have a hand sprayer on the side where I take that and I spray off the bubbles from the clothing. So I've already done 3 loads of wash this way. I did the towels last night and I put them all in the dryer and they dried and they smell clean. They are definitely clean. There's no dirt, grime, nothing on them, and they don't stink. Then the clothing, I made sure there were no stains or dirt or anything gross on the clothing, like a food stain or anything like that. Once I made sure they all smelled good, especially if you wear something to like the gym and you get sweaty, you want to make sure that smells good before you put it in the dryer, because heat will cure that and your clothes will stink. And then once I did that, I wring them out by hand. So that's just a quick tip. When my children were younger, I did it in their bathtub, and that bathtub does not have a bubble jet or a whirlpool jet. So what I did there was I did it the same way, except I actually hand washed, meaning I scrubbed the clothing together like this. The water wasn't making a circular motion like in a whirlpool or a bubble tub. So I had to physically scrub them like this. But at that time, my kids were little toddlers. So you got to remember that's like a size 2T, 3T. They're small little clothing, not adult clothing. Adult clothing is going to be harder to do. It's going to be harder to wring out. It's going to be harder to make sure they are clean and thoroughly cleaned. But in the event of an emergency, this is one way you can do your laundry. And I'm happy this is working out, because I really have no desire to go to a laundromat. They're expensive. I was floored by the price of the laundromats around here. One guy posted that it's like $8 for a dryer now. And I couldn't believe that. I was like, wow. Because the times I've gone to the laundromat, the dryer didn't do it in one load. I had to keep doing it. Like one time it was like 4 times. So that's like $24 for a dryer load. That's crazy to me. So I don't really feel like doing that. Plus the hassle of getting it in your car, taking it to the laundromat. Yes, I know people that have to go to the laundromat. I know, right? But once you have a machine in your house and you've been using it for years, it is a pain. So I hope this was informative. Thanks for watching. Take care.